It's Elite POV, coming live to your area on twitch.tv.
Let's fucking go!
We are your number one place for everything in the world of all elite wrestling. And just remember, when you're with us, you'll always be elite.
Yo, it's clear to see when you open up your feed that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. We bring the heat to your screen every week, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. So understand every time that we speak that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Our 3 letters is all you'll ever need, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Elite POV. It's Thursday, and it's podcast time, and you know what that means. It is your favorite AEW fan podcast live right here on twitch.tv/Elite POV. So if you guys are listening to it back on all audio platforms such as Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're getting your podcasts, come on by the Twitch stream. Make an account. It's free to make an account, and join us in the live chat as we talk about the number one professional wrestling company in the world today, at least in our minds, and that is All Elite Wrestling. And we have just a 2-man crew tonight, or 2-person crew. Sorry, I'm apologizing.
Person crew.
Yeah.
That
I was just sexist there. Oh my god.
A 2-dude crew.
In 2022, Kyle, damn it. Wow.
That's it. Just cancel the
Jacky,
show.
I you know what, if you want to leave, it's okay. Like, I understand. That was just the most horrible comment to make. I'm gonna get canceled.
There was
now.
a lot worse you could say. Trust me.
I'm done. I'm gonna get canceled now. It's gonna be all over Twitter. I'm gonna get blown up. The Croutons are gonna be after me on Twitter. It's over. I just ruined it in 30 seconds of the show. Just ruined my whole career.
Can never have nice things.
But anyways, guys, welcome again. Yes, it is only a 2-person crew today. Phil cannot be here today. He's indisposed. I believe work it was the issue. I think it was work. Poor guy, man. Working a lot this week. And as you guys seen last week on our 50th episode, Ant did announce, unfortunately, that he is taking a step back to deal with some life things and be all right mentally. He will be back. It's not the end. He's going to be back once in a while. So shout outs to you, Ant, for that. But yes, today it's going to be myself and Jacky talking everything. So there's just 2 of us, Jacky, to talk everything, and we got a lot to talk about. It's like, of course.
Oh my god, what a freaking week. And like, how are we gonna cram the massive pay-per-view, which was eternal, if we're being honest, and then
it's still going on,
Killer
apparently.
Dynamite. Somewhere in Las Vegas, Double or Nothing is still happening.
Yeah, 13 matches, which felt like 30, basically. I'm sorry, and I'm gonna cut into that right away. I am of the firm belief and the firm believer that wrestling pay-per-views need to be no more than 8 matches maximum. Do not go over 8 matches. If you're going to, make sure it's a big event and make sure that the matches belong on the card, because I looked at that card and I'm like, hey, 1, 2, 3. I counted about 4 matches and I'm like, probably could have been saved for a Rampage or Dynamite. Did not need to be on the pay-per-view. And that was long.
I'm going to agree.
And I feel bad for our... Oh my god, I just realized that my camera is... Look at me not producing here. My hand's going...
Oh, look at you. You're like touching my wall over here.
Anyways, there we go.
Drag your ass over here. Get out of my square.
Damn it, what was I going to say? Oh, the people are European listeners of the show and that watch AEW. I feel bad for them because... they had to stay up. I think it was Carrie that told us, or I seen somewhere that it was like 6 a.m. when the pay-per-view was done for them.
Oh my god. I mean, they already have it pretty hard when it comes to any AEW show. It's just like, they're the type to be like, oh, I'm watching it at 1:00 in the morning. I'm watching it like, just at all hours. So I already have sympathy for them. But, me being a little bit spoiled over here, used to everything being on East Coast time. Oh, my God. It was like literally when the pay-per-view stopped, I looked at my clock and I'm like, it is 12:40 in the morning.
Yeah.
Insane.
It was not fun. It was not a fun pay-per-view to watch. It was a fun pay-per-view to watch. Let me rephrase that. as I adjust on the fly here because I'm producing on the fly. But yeah, it was a fun pay-per-view to watch. I love the model of the old NXT before they became the Nickelodeon crap that they are today. The black and gold NXT from like the Shinsuke Nakamura days and Finn Balor, those takeovers. There was like maybe 5, sometimes 6, and they eventually went to 6, but they had like 5 takeovers a year. And each takeover was like 6 matches or 7 matches max, and it was done in like 3 hours. Perfect way to do a pay-per-view, a wrestling pay-per-view. You know, like I believe AEW, if they had it done 8 matches, they took away the 4, I think you would have had a lot more energy in the crowd because that's a lot for them. And we were saying in our group chat, I'm like, man, all these people that are in this arena, not only did they have to endure that whole pay-per-view, like at some points in the later matches, they were like really dead, but like they had to stand outside for 2 hours in the Vegas heat before getting into that building. And the heat takes a lot out of you. And they, obviously the whole weekend was a lot, like the Rampage on Friday, the Fan Fest on Saturday and Sunday. Like it is a lot. Like I've done WrestleMania weekends. It is a lot. Like you would get extremely exhausted by the time you get to the Sunday night. Yeah, they're saying the live chat, the Saturdays. I hope they go back to the Saturdays. I wish.
Oh my God, that was probably the thing that I was the most hyped about when AEW came into fruition, was the format of the Saturday pay-per-view. Now, we've heard all types of things as to the reasoning as to why they stopped doing it. A big speculation was they didn't want to run head-to-head with a lot of the UFC shows. But to me, it's just like, it was so much better. And the pay-per-view could have run as long as it wanted to, because it's like, most of us don't work on Sundays. And I would love to have this Saturday model back, because if it wasn't for the fact that Memorial Day was the following day, I felt sorry for anybody that had to work Monday, because damn, that was a long haul.
I really don't like the UFC excuse. That to me is like the most bogus excuse in the entire world. You run against, in other shows, your weekly shows run against sports all the time. Why is it that when the pay-per-view comes about, why do you care that our UFC event is on? Why do you care? Your fans are going to pay and watch your wrestling product. They're not competing with the UFC.
And I feel like UFC, like every time that I've tried to watch a UFC fight, it's like, oh, the main event is on at 1:00 in the morning. And you're just
the wrestling pay-per-view's done by then.
Well, this one almost wasn't.
This one was close, but like, it just doesn't make sense. It's such a dumb thing. I think it's the stupidest thing in the world. If there is,
like, please give us Saturdays back.
Like, oh my God. And it doesn't help that he runs it on the holiday weekend. So like, then he's like, oh yeah, for sure, Sunday. Anyways.
Yeah, but not everybody's got the holidays.
Exactly,
so.
like me. I didn't have a holiday Monday after. I had to go to work.
Kyle's
next
Canadian.
Morning. Yeah, my holiday Monday was the weekend before. So thanks, Tony Khan. Anyways, there's enough blaming Tony Khan. We'll get into that later. But we'll still talk about the pay-per-view, Double or Nothing. Again, regardless of the extremely long pay-per-view, I thought it was a good pay-per-view from start to finish. Yes, it was a lot to trek through, but I think they still delivered. It wasn't their best pay-per-view. They've definitely hit home runs with other pay-per-views. It doesn't mean that this one wasn't still bad. It was still good. And then you put in the chat, let us know what your match of the night. I think my match of the night for sure. It's a close tie between the 6-man tag of House of Black and Death Triangle, which I really wanted to be Wardlow and MGF, but what happened there. So it's between House of Black and Death Triangle, and I think it's a close one, probably with even the main. Like, I really enjoyed the main event. I know a lot of people were really tired by then, and I know it affected some people watching it. That to sit there and enjoy it. I sat there. I've watched the main event twice already since Sunday. So it was really good. Even going back and watching it again, I thought it was really good. So I'd probably give the advantage to the 6-man tags. That was really exciting. And it was early enough in the pay-per-view that I was still awake a little bit by then.
There was no fatigue at that point.
Oh, man. And like, as crazy as the Jericho Appreciation Society match was, I couldn't give a shit about it. minutes. I was so tired.
Aw.
So tired. Like, I was like, oh, like my eyes kept going like this because of the craziness in that. And me sitting there trying to figure out why the theme song didn't turn off for like 3 minutes. So
It ran twice. I have a funny story about this and this match in particular. And it's going to start off with a little bit of a complaint, which a lot of people had with Bleacher Report.
oh, okay.
Bleacher Report was a freaking nightmare. I was having all types of issues. Like, I don't have a smart TV. Sorry, people. So what I do is I cast from my phone to my TV. And every time I tried to do that, it was getting very glitchy. It was lagging. I felt like it was like AOL dial-up speed. It was really bad. So I had to watch the entirety of the pay-per-view on my phone. And the screen is like yay big. And it's, I tried to do it on my laptop. Bleacher Report would not let me log in. It was just having issues all over the place. So with that Jericho Appreciation Society match, there were about 100 camera cuts per minute. And I'm like leaned all the way in trying to freaking pay attention, like, holy shit, what's happening? Because every time I blink, it's a different, view. Somebody's getting their ass kicked in the stands, who's in the ring, who's getting thrown through, like, just freaking pandemonium. So it kind of forced me to be like ultra alert just to be able to focus on the match.
Yeah.
So I feel like even though it was something going into it where I was like, you know how I feel about the JAS. I'm not feeling it at all. But
I mean,
the match kind of got me sucked in because it's like I had no choice but to like really focus and hone in on it and really watch it closely.
I mean, Justin Roberts pretty much warned you that shit was going to hit the fan before the match even started. And sure enough, that was just, it was literally what it lived up to the name. Anarchy in the arena. It was just anarchy. There's shit going on every 2 seconds, and sometimes people would disappear. At one point, randomly, Eddie Kingston comes through the front looking like he's just come out of a horror movie set with a gasoline
That image
tank.
is like iconic at this point.
Yeah. Man, it was just absolutely nuts. Yeah, Daniel Garcia was like the only one not to bleed in that match, which is like, I just, one after the other, people kept bleeding one after the other. I'm like, oh, okay, everyone's bleeding at least in this match, it looks like. It was just,
Daddy Magic, like Adam said in the chat, Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, he was gushing blood like really early on in the match. And I always think to myself, I'm like, that's gotta like affect you fatigue-wise, throughout the match. So kudos to him. It looked really gnarly. They all wore white, so it like really enhanced the whole bloody effect.
Those
they look like a boy band
outfits, man. My God, what was that? I know the purpose of the match was to kind of wake people up to at that point, which it kind of felt bad because it woke people up and then people fell right back asleep for the next match. And like when the tag team match came on for the tag titles, I really didn't have interest in it. Like I didn't, because I know going in for some reason that it was going to be Jurassic Express, even though I was really hoping for Swerve and Lee to win. Jurassic Express ends up winning again. I'm like, oh my God, like why are they still the champions? Like, quit. I know
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I know they don't like fast tracking belts off people. They wait until it makes sense, and they wait for a big story for the belts to change hands. Except for I guess a TNT belt, which I don't know what's going on there, but which I believe that TNT belt's probably gonna stay on Scorpio Sky for a while. They just freaking changed it to like.
I hope freaking so. Please. Push the man to the moon.
Until I think in Ethan Page's turn, they should keep it on him because eventually, that's probably where it's going. But anyways,
possibly.
What else happened in pay-per-view that I want to point out?
Oh wait, I want to give my match of the night.
Okay, that's right. My bad.
So my match of the night has to go to Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb. Now I really haven't gone too far into it because that, like I said one time, I'm like, I think it would take a whole episode to go into how unhappy I was with the way that Thunder Rosa has been booked ever since her title win. We all know like minimal TV time, one title defense or one match basically since she won the belt. And I really think that this match with Deeb was a showcase of the kind of matches that she is capable of having when she's given that chance to be in the spotlight. There was a lot of technicality. There was a lot of like fierce storytelling going on. We know that Serena Deeb is at the top of her game too. And I just like, I know that the crowd was already at that point of just being very tired, but I will say that they came alive in a lot of parts. They got the "This is awesome" chants, the Thunder Rosa chants, and Thunder Rosa gets that pop, like, top notch pop everywhere she goes. So I would love to theoretically say that that could be the catalyst for a stronger title run for her, because we know that she's capable of doing it. We know she's a freaking star. Put her against people like Serena Deeb and just let her freaking go out there and do her damn thing. But just like watching that, I was so proud to see it. And that easily was my match of the night.
So speaking of Thunder Rosa, if anyone's wondering the reason why she wasn't on AEW Dynamite this week, it looks like Thunder Rosa did not work. She was there, but she was sent home by the medical doctors. I guess she wasn't feeling well, and I'm going to assume just because of the world we live in, it was a precautionary measure with COVID and everything, so it was probably smart. She wasn't injured at all either, so it's not an injury. It's just taking precautions. Now, I brought this up, and I say this because I think they're supposed to start her next feud tonight. And that's probably one of the reasons why we got that rematch of that tag match from about a month ago. So that was probably the spot where Thunder Rosa is going to start her next feud. Now, I think her next feud was probably going to be one of the 4 women that were in that match.
Logically speaking, I think that that's like a reasonable way to go. I don't think you're going to default back to Britt after, she already just lost the title.
The rankings show, I think it was Nyla Rose is number 1, so I don't think maybe they would have gone that direction. I don't know.
But then they, they had her and Nyla at Battle of the Belts. Yeah. And this is where the rankings get me, like, in a chokehold, because either they stick to the reason, like, being for the number 1 contender, that it's because of the rankings, or they just completely disregard and act like the rankings don't exist. The tag team division.
Britt Baker was number 2 and Toni Storm was number 4. So maybe they were going to do a program where Britt felt that she needs her title back and Toni Storm had something to say about it, and maybe those two are going to have like maybe a number 1 contenders match, and then that would decide Thunder Rosa's next feud. It's strange. I want to know where they're going to go with this belt next, because as far as we know, speaking of Battle of the Belts, they have it now. It was advertised from an arena. Battle of the Belts 3, is it the beginning of July or is it the beginning of... I remember what I read. It was beginning of July or beginning of August that one of the Dynamites in Grand Rapids is going to be... I think it's the beginning of July.
Kimmy's saying August 5th.
August 5th. So that's where the Rampage there is going to be a live Rampage. And they're also going to be doing Battle of the Belts taping, the 3rd one.
Okay.
So, meaning that Thunder Rosa's next feud is probably going to last till then, perhaps. The Forbidden Door thing kind of sucks for the women because there really isn't a Forbidden Door for them with New Japan, because New Japan's primarily male. That's why a lot of people wanted to know if Stardom was going to play a factor with Forbidden Door. As far as I know, it's not going to, so it's just going to be a male pay-per-view, which is fine. They can have.
Let's say for this type of event, we understand that New Japan is not. They don't have a women's roster, so it's just logical that that's what's going to happen.
They dare confirm the people at Arthur Ashe Stadium confirmed that Grand Slam's coming back, so it's going to be in September again, probably. Yeah. Because I know they still do the U.S. Open, so it's going to be the whatever week after the U.S. Open's done. So if you just look up where the U.S. Tennis Open is, it'll be the week after when it's done, if you follow it all the way down. What's it going to? Oh, yeah. Thunder Rosa. I'll see what her feud is again. She just got sent home. She's sick. We'll probably get it next week. Here's something that's happening around Grand Slam time that we still don't know. Didn't get an ad for it at Double or Nothing. We don't know still where All Out is, which is hilarious because last year, Double or Nothing, we got the teaser for Chicago, right? We got the All Out commercial, so we knew it was going to be there. Now it's like, okay, when are they going to show it? I actually thought they're going to show it last night. I'm like, hey, maybe it's in LA this year. and they're gonna wait for the big LA show to. Holy sh!
I'm sorry. I probably blew your eardrums off. Jermazing. 15 subs in the chat.
Audio listeners, apologize. This is why we want you to come and watch Twitch, because we just got dropped 15 gifted subs by Jermazing.
I have goosebumps.
15 bomb.
I wish like my camera was better because you could like see all the goosebumps on my arms. But oh my god, Jermazing,
wow.
Best in the world. Hashtag best in the world.
Thank you, my friend.
Unbelievable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Incredible. You
Anyways,
just
I broke us.
Threw us off. Man, I got really hot real for a second.
We're talking about again. All Out. That's right. So yeah, we don't know where All Out is still, and it's hilarious. Of course, the paper we pick that we're all gonna get together for the first time, they still don't announce it. They're gonna make us wait. So I've seen rumors, Jacky, that still that it's not going to be in Chicago. It's going to be somewhere else, maybe, and they're waiting to announce it. Then I've read that they're waiting till Forbidden Door because that's in Chicago at the United Center. That's where they're going to announce, hey, we're going to be back here in 2 months, right back here at the United Center for All Out. And
it's a little nuts to me because, a lot of people travel from out of state. You get some people that are going to travel potentially like yourself from out of the country. We need time to make these travel arrangements, to book the hotels, to book our flights and stuff like that. Like, come on, throw us a bone. Tell us something.
It's just weird. Like, I figured by now, like, we would know. Like, it's a really weird thing not to announce yet, because I believe I'll go and fact check. But last year we got the All Out announcement at Double or Nothing. I swear to God, we had to have known the Double or Nothing before that, the 2020 Double or Nothing. We knew it was COVID. So we kind of knew where it was going to be. Mm-hmm. But I remember there were rumors at the time that if COVID was going to, because I remember that first year of COVID when people were like, there were talks of like, oh, COVID might be gone by the end of the summer. I remember there were talks going, okay, it's going back to Chicago. Maybe they'll do the United Center that year. So, anyways, hopefully we get to know soon. Kimmy, you can say it's Chicago, but I need confirmation. I don't need Kimmy confirmation. I need visual evidence of a preview saying where it is. That's what I need. I don't need
the graphic.
No. I don't need digging. I need visual evidence where it's going to be so I can officially book shit. I'm not booking stuff on a theory, or I'm not booking stuff on a dirt sheet. No. I need an actual physical ad showing me where it's going to be. That's when we'll book. Anyways, off topic here. As for the rest of Double or Nothing, I mean, we had the debut of Paige Van Zandt. She was okay. That's all I'm really going to say about that match, because I really wasn't interested in the rest of that match. Britt Baker and Adam Cole won the Owen.
Power couple.
Amazing, and I love finding out that Tony Khan purchased an extra hour of pay-per-view time solely for Martha Hart to go out there and say whatever the hell she wants. He told her, I bought an extra hour of pay-per-view, go out there and talk as long as you want.
The belts were beautiful too. They modeled them after the Stampede Wrestling belts, which was a beautiful, attention to detail as always. The pink and black.
So good. And the hearts.
Match, his and hers belts for Adam Cole and Britt Baker.
Yeah, the little hearts along the trim of the belts was fantastic. She had a really good speech. It was awesome. The trophy was a little heavy for her. I was like, are they going to hand it to Cole? Or maybe she didn't know who to hand it to. It was a little awkward a little bit.
Please, somebody take it.
But anyways, that was a really cool moment. Cargill squashed Anna Jay, but it was basically the story afterwards. We had two debuts. One, FKA Malcolm Bivens, who is now, what's his new name now?
Stokely Hathaway.
Stokely Hathaway, which is great. Perfect pairing. He's now the publicist for Jade Cargill. Perfect pairing. And then Athena debuts as well, which is, oh man. Waiting. I really wanted her in AEW, and I didn't know if she was going to, because it took so long. I'm like, damn it, is she going to Impact? Or is she going to go do the circuit in Japan or something like that? Which I would have been cool with, but I'm like, damn, I really wanted her in AEW. And as soon as she came out, I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God. She is a big, big get for that division. That is a big signing. And now they're already like looking like they're gonna gear, or basically she's gonna be probably Jade Cargill's biggest opponent yet. But now it looks like she's got to run through the baddies, so it looks like she'll probably go through Kiera Hogan, then Red Velvet, and to get to Jade Cargill. But even watching last night's Dynamite with the Stokely thing, him on the mic, perfect. That was the perfect pairing to take Smart Mark off of Jade. You know, Smart Mark did his thing, but Smart Mark and Tony Nese makes a lot more sense. But now with Stokely here, cannot wait for this. That whole segment last night, Dynamite, Athena debuting, chef's kiss. Loved every single minute of it. That was probably second favorite. Actually, my first favorite thing, not match, but first favorite thing on the entire AW, or besides CM Punk winning the world title. But clearly, if you guys look at the flag behind me, I am a CM Punk mark right there. But thank you to Jacky for getting me that flag, by the way. She got me that at our Grand Slam last year.
At Grand Slam, yeah.
But anyways, the rest of Double or Nothing. I mean, Hookhausen in the bind did its job, did what we need to do. But we have to talk about gotta talk about this. So the very first match of Double or Nothing, which is gonna kind of tie into Dynamite.
Yes.
So we're gonna talk about this right away. You guys saw the thumbnail for today. So what a weekend. And we haven't talked about it. We haven't sat here and talked on a show about what, like, it all started at FanFest, this whole thing. But we knew, like, MJF's there's been stuff in the media for weeks about MJF being mad backstage, or is this true or not? And, you know, is he, like, he's threatening to go, like, he's been threatening in his promos a little bit to go to WWE, like, you know. Anyways, he no-shows a FanFest, which is insane. So there are people that paid to be there to meet MJF, and he no-showed it. So I'm like, oh, damn. And I thought, like, shit was hitting the fan everywhere because there were reports of, like, Samoa Joe no-showed, but I guess there was a scheduling conflict. He got double booked, so that's why he wasn't there. Poor guy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, MJF literally just said, nah, I'm not, and didn't show up. But I did reach out to someone that was there. She told me that they offered everybody like multiple stars as extra, as to cover the cost. Like they went and met at extra people. So that was interesting when I first heard that. I'm like, oh no. Like first thing that's going through anybody's mind is MJF no showing All Out Double or Nothing as well. Like this is Wardlow's defining moment. He needs to show up for this. Like I was worried, and that was the whole thing. I didn't like the whole day Sunday. I'm like, oh my God, is MJF even showing up tonight? Like, what's going on here? Are they pushing that match ahead? Then, like, during the buy-in, I find out that's opening up the show, and I'm like, oh no, what is going on here? Like, there was theories being thrown around. People were like, oh, they're gonna do that 10 count, and then Wardlow's gonna win. I'm like, oh, that's lame.
Would have been awful.
Yeah.
Trash.
So I don't know if what we got was even better, Jacky. So MJF ended up showing up, and Wardlow squashed him. And I'm like, oh. It was just like a deflated balloon.
He got stretchered out of the arena.
I'm like,
I love they put the oxygen mask on his face, but they didn't even put it on his face properly. Like it was just.
My buddy No Self Phil knows that right away. He's like, that's not on his face properly. What's going on?
It's like, why is it like up here? Like it's not even over his nose and his mouth.
I was just like, I didn't enjoy it. I'm sorry. I'm like, I was not expecting a squash match. I was expecting MJF to put up some sort of fight and this match to last long and I wanted Wardlow to do what he did, but like stretch it out. Like I'm going to beat the shit out of you for like 20 minutes, buddy. This is for everything that you've put me through for like the last 2 years. I'm going to make this one last. And it ended in like 7 minutes.
The only way to spin it would be that it just validates why MJF was, trying to dodge Wardlow the entire time. He knew that Wardlow would completely destroy him if he ever got his hands on him. I think the only way that they could have really stretched it out would have been to do what he did at one point during the match, which is get the pin and then say, nope, I'm not done with you yet. I think there is a story to be told there. Like they could spin it in a way where it's like he got the best of him and that's why MJF was running from him the whole time and trying to avoid having this match because he knew he couldn't take it. But everything that went into the whole night with all of the speculation, because I want to preface this and throw a little disclaimer. We always say this. We're not news breaking podcasts. That's not what we do. Everything that we say here is based solely on speculation, hearsay, reporting, etc. So trying to piece this one together has just felt impossible. But you know what? I love that.
Yeah.
Because at this point in time, I feel like so many of us as fans have so much access to insider news and things like that, where it's very hard to completely suspend your disbelief or to be fooled. And this is the one instance in for the first time in a long time where there's like people like, holy shit, like what's real and what's not. And I think that's a lost art. So they can really play that up.
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job of it, but just like for the pay-per-view itself, the pay-per-view match, I was expecting a lot more. Maybe it was just me. I was expecting, and I love that part, like you mentioned, that Wardlow did the 1-2, and then no, I'm not done with you yet. Maybe I would have enjoyed it maybe a little bit more, kind of like doing that and then kind of bringing them all around the arena, like beating the crap out of him in front of the crowd. You know what I mean? Like throwing him through the crowd, putting him in a trash can.
Like torturing him, essentially.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like look,
yeah.
This man's basically tortured you for over a year. Why you just squash him in 7 minutes and then that's it? That's just like, this is supposed to be your defining moment. This is the transcend to your career. And it's just like to me, it was like a deflated balloon. I was like, oh, okay, well he squashed him.
Yeah.
Sure, cool.
Yeah.
He's all elite. Yeah, whatever. Like I was just like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. To open up a pay-per-view. If they're going to squash him, probably could have waited to the second or third match.
They could have, but, I think that also added a level
it.
of intrigue, like in terms of like, again, is he going to be there? And then it's like he's the first one to walk out when nobody thought he was going to show up, period.
Yeah.
So it kind of sets the precedence for it. But
Aunt says he's driving. Aunt, wait till you get home. We're still going to be here.
Aunt, please, like, be careful. Especially, we had a crazy ass. Well, I don't know if it's in South Jersey too, but up here we had like torrential rain. So,
anyways, so then it transitions into what happens on Dynamite, and oh boy, oh boy, does MJF go from being talk of the town to talk of the damn world, the whole wrestling world, after one promo, and my dude literally cut a colossal, I guess we can call it pipe bomb promo last night.
Pipe bomb-esque.
And oh my God. Yeah. He said some things, to say the least, for sure. He said some things. Man, it was I'll be the first one. I got worked a little bit over this weekend. I think now I'm dead set. Think this is complete storyline. There's no way Tony Khan lets this man, if it's true, if the shit's true and he's like legit like this mad, which he could be, but if he's legit this mad, there's no way Tony Khan on a night where the execs are there, the brand new execs, that he would have let MJF go out there with a live mic and just say whatever he wants. No way in hell. Don't try to argue with me blue in the face. You can't convince me that MJF would have been let to go out there to do that if this wasn't planned.
And at any point, during that promo or during that speech, he could have had his mic cut off. Mm-hmm. If it was really like, let's say they said, all right, you're going to go out there, air your grievances, say what you need to say in the context of what's allowable. We've talked about this, now go do it. And then let's say he went out there and then he started going sideways. You cut the mic. It's that simple. There's no way in hell that anybody can be led to believe that that was not an allowed situation.
Yeah.
But again, MJF, he is such a pro at blurring the lines.
My man never breaks character, ever.
Never.
Ever. He never breaks character. No matter where he is, he never breaks character.
Sometimes it's a little annoying where you're thinking about it from the perspective of like, oh my God, am I going to go and I'm going to go to pay money for a meet and greet for you to be like verbally abusive to me? But again, he's just so in it. And so he's out there and he's saying like, he's throwing jabs at, Tony Khan, saying that he's a freaking mark and he belongs on the other side of the barrier with all the fans, that, he'll like don't ask him to reach into his wallet to pay the man who's been carrying, his side of things for, for the entire time. He brings up, maybe if I was an ex WWE guy, you would pay me the money. And it's just like, at any point, if that would have been too much, it would have been cut.
It's just,
so I just want people to like think about that a little bit. But again, so expertly, just like enough to make you doubt.
And I believe that they had a meeting that day. So that's where the reports are they had a meeting. 100% I believe that they sat there and had a meeting. I am of the belief, if this meeting actually went down, that was a meeting where they finally settled it. And they're like, hey, let's run with it now. Because the world still thinks that I'm the way I am still. Let's run with it. So I guarantee that they sat there at the meeting. Not only did they, again, I'm going to keep saying, if the meeting happened, not only did they sign a new deal or whatnot, or, give him a boost or whatever, but they sat there and booked the rest of this feud, how they're going to do it. And a lot of people have made some interesting comparisons over online. They're comparing it to the whole CM Punk and John Cena thing, saying CM Punk's now the John Cena in this scenario. MJF is the CM Punk, and MJF's going to win the title. Like MJF's going to win the title and like he's going to get fired or something like that. You know what I mean?
I would like them not to directly, scene for scene mimic that particular storyline. I like the Easter eggs and the little references where it's like, CM Punk is now kind of the company guy, and MJF can eventually come across as the anti-hero if they play it up enough, but people freaking hate MJF. There was a point where they shifted a little bit to cheer like one thing that he said, but immediately they were back to booing his ass off the planet. So
I think Punk has a hand in this.
He's such a good heel.
I think Punk has a hand in this because I think eventually this is going to lead to MJF and CM Punk at All Out. I really do think that's what we're getting at All Out now. And we saw the fan footage after. And even the fan footage, people were like, oh, well, but did you see there's fan footage of CM Punk chasing MJF out? I'm like, you don't think they know people are videotaping and are going to put this on Twitter? You think they're stupid backstage? Of course they know that people are going to videotape and tweet about it to create more of a shitstorm. They're not dumb. So CM Punk came running out, and like MJF got like all pissy and then ran into the crowd, and like CM Punk's like limping. He's got like one boot off. So that's why I'm thinking there. I'm like, okay, so Punk's waiting in Gorilla with Tony Khan after his match to do this. Like this was all, and it's great. I love every minute of it. And the promo
and the fans will play into it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And the fans kind of them
nuts.
Recording it and putting it on, social media and letting people know that it happened. It's like free promotion. It's like free storytelling.
He got the biggest babyface reaction I've heard in a long time last night. That was interesting. I don't know he tried to belittle the fans, but like they weren't buying it. They were just like, yeah, that's us. We're shitheads. We're marks.
No, I think they booed him up until the point where he said, if I was an ex-WWE guy, would you pay me more? And then everybody was just like, oh, like you hear the collective like gasp, and people are shocked like, oh, he mentioned WWE on AEW programming. But
it's not the first time. People are acting like it's the first time it's happened. I'm like,
it's not.
Where have you guys been for the last 3 years? They've done this like almost every week.
Even if it's a subtle reference,
Eddie Kingston's first 6 months in the company, he mentioned WWE like 100 times. Or he called them the other company, but he like cut a promo on them every single week. Anyways, this is great. I mean, so the promo was intense too, even at the end where he dropped. I didn't think they were ever good. I'm sat there after, and I was thinking, Jacky, has the F-bomb ever been dropped on wrestling TV? I don't remember the Attitude Era, them ever dropping the F-bomb. I don't remember.
I can't think of a single moment. I'm sure somebody in the chat or somebody in the encyclopedia.
Hold up to people in the chat. Don't give me some IVPW on like indie TV. Don't give me that. I'm talking about a big, I don't know, a major wrestling company like New Japan, WWE, or AEW. I'll even throw in Ring of Honor somewhat. Impact maybe too. But don't give me like an indie brand.
Yeah, I'm talking about like
Moxley
national
did. You're right.
television.
Ant's right. Moxley did when that guy that heckled him. You told him to get the F out of here.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah. Bobby Heenan did when Pillman grabbed his neck. Oh, really? Okay, I'm gonna have to go and watch that. That's cool. Jacky sitting here like on the podcast and gifting like investing in her own show here.
Gift did a sub, and it went to Carrie, the head booker, who made my custom shirt that I'm wearing tonight. We'll delve a little more into that when we talk about the opening match of Dynamite.
But man, so here's the thing. I do see a little bit of the other side of the fence here, that from the people that didn't maybe necessarily agree with the promo. And I will agree with some of their stance on it. That, you know, they're saying some things that maybe they could have left out of the promo that were kind of like, you know, making fun of the company in a way. That, you know, I understand, like, that's not the premise of it. Like, I know they're trying to really dig into breaking the fourth wall here, but I do understand that, you know, I see what you're saying. So the people that are sitting there and saying, like, oh, like, you know, he made fun of Tony Khan, like, way too much, or he could have done it in a different way, and he, you know, he kind of, like, put the company on blast there a little bit. Okay, I do see what you're saying, but for me, I'm enjoying it. I'm 100% full forward, whatever they're going to do. It's interesting. And today they even added they planted another seed today. They literally took MJF off the roster page, and then they took his shop stuff down. You can go still buy his pro wrestling tee stuff, but his shop AEW stuff down. But when you click MJF in shop AEW, it brings you to the 404 air page that's cleverly edited. I'm like, why did they even do that? Who edits this shit? Why doesn't anyone go and copy and paste what the actual 404 error page looks like and just paste it there? Why did they have to make a new 404 logo in the AEW font? It's literally that logo behind
They're
Jacky
fancy.
right there. That logo behind her is literally the 404 logo. That's on the shop. And so they're going, what the hell is this? I'm like, okay, AEW, hire me. I'll do a better job. I'll sit there and type that shit out. I'll make it look legit as shit. Don't get some graphic designer that literally took the 404 logo and said, hey, you know, it'd be a good idea if I made the AEW logo. No, that's not, no. Unbelievable. Anyways.
Listen, you know, end of the day,
Yeah.
I think it's being well played at this point. That's my personal opinion. I think that he's playing into his wheelhouse. If he would have pulled back, it would have felt scripted, and it didn't feel scripted. So leave the reason
perfect.
to doubt.
It is great. I can't wait now what they're going to do. I wonder if they're going to keep him off TV a couple of weeks just to kind of add to the story. Like, what if Punk, like, has a match, like, in a couple of weeks, or maybe, like, CM Punk attacks him at Forbidden Door after his match? There you go. That could be something. You never know. But what font is that?
See.
The AW font, Isaac. The 404 font, it's literally the AW logo. But instead of AEW in the middle, it says 404. Like the error message. It was hilarious. It's great. Anyways, Jacky's wearing the shirt. Beautiful shirt done by Carrie, the head booker. Thank you so much for that.
We love you, Carrie.
The opening contest of Dynamite, they're back on the Let's Start with CM Punk or Adam Cole theme song episode of Dynamite. So we end up with CM Punk, which it makes more sense now because he's the world champ, right? It's the first time he's a world champion in AEW. You got to open with the world champion. And him and FTR get to tag. They announced this like a few hours before the show that they tag against Max Caster and the Ass Boys, which Max Caster caught a hilarious, fantastic. I love how he brings in real life shit that happened like 2 hours before the Dynamite. Like he cut the first line, he cuts an Amber Heard line. I'm like, this is why I love the everybody loves the Acclaim. That's including me, man. Scissor me, daddy. Come on. Or is he a scissor me ass daddy? Is that what he says?
Scissor me daddy ass.
Daddy ass. Yeah. That's
I feel
so funny.
sorry for my parents when they like go watch this back.
You know what's hilarious though? This pairing has actually worked out. Like it flows. You know what? They make that outro flow, and like Max Caster always ends with like the Ass Boys, and then the two sons get all pissed off, and then they're
just like, no, don't say Ass Boys.
Then they both get the mic and they say a completely different city, and then Anthony Bones is the one to get the correct city. I think it's perfect. Great entrance. Love every minute of it, and they need to keep doing it. But Jacky, talk about it. You saw your boys team up with the world champion, and I didn't know. Okay, I guess I'm just the minority that didn't know. Are they real life best friends? Because clearly the FTR comes out at the end of Double or Nothing to hug CM Punk, and they get the tag team on the Dynamite right after. Did you know?
So you know that they're all like the trio of the biggest Bret Hart marks around. So that's part of their bonding and whatnot. CM Punk had been going on Twitter and had been publicly saying that his match with Dax was like top notch in his, AEW run, that he felt that FTR was the best tag team going. He was spotted wearing the 6-star FTR shirt often. So there were little hints and stuff like that going on. Now, the interesting part about it is, that they had that feud with, with the Pinnacle, which completely
Oh,
folded.
the Pinnacle. Love the Pinnacle.
So, and
Gotta
even
love that team.
during the Dax versus Cash match where CM Punk was on commentary, he was saying the whole time, I don't like these guys. I respect what they do in the ring, but I don't like them. So it was kind of like, well, how are they going to tie this in? But CM Punk, being the freaking consummate professional that he is, tweeted today a story about how he was riding his Schwinn bike and ran into 2 kids on BMX bikes, and apparently they got into some kind of scuffle. They fought each other, bruised each other up, and then he's like, but then after that, we were riding bikes every day for the rest of the summer or something like that. And that's kind of what he was alluding to with, yeah, we scrapped it out, but, at the end of the day, it's all respect, and we're going to go forward with it. So he kind of like tied those loose ends with that little story, and I really liked that. But yeah, like Adam said, it's the Bret Hart Appreciation Society.
Oh, God. No more Appreciation Society group names, please. With JS is enough.
Yeah, I'm like, with Double or Nothing, at the conclusion, after it went off the air, FTR went out and celebrated with CM Punk. It was a really cool moment. They had their matching shirts with them and Bret Hart, art on it. And I'm like, ooh, this could be a cool trio. I had no idea that like a few days later, we were going to see it happen right on Dynamite. So when I saw the announcement, I freaked out. When I finally saw them walk to the ring, you were in the chat with me. You can attest to the fact that I was losing my ever-loving mind the entire time during that entrance. But there's just like, oh my God, I won't gush too much because I'm known for that. But FTR so damn good, and I think at some points, like, you could tell Punk went through a war at the pay-per-view. He was a little rusty, I guess you could say. Like, you could tell he was hurt at some points, like he was kind of like missing some spots. But overall, I think Cash really shined in that match. He's just like, he's so agile.
I
so
will
damn
defend Punk here, though.
in that ring.
I think most of it, the Ass Boys were a little bit off timing.
There was a timing issue quite a few times when it came to I want to keep calling them the Ass Boys because
Dirty Ass Boys.
The Ass Boys.
Dirty
That's
Ass
what
Boys.
they are. They're not the Gun Club, they're the Ass Boys. But overall, it was just a really cool thing to see. I know there were some complaints in terms of like, oh, CM Punk is a champion, and the first thing he's doing is a 6-man tag against the Gun Club and Max Caster. Like, whoop de freaking do. Just enjoy a match for the sake of enjoying a match. It doesn't have to jump into a storyline immediately. This is something that clearly they wanted to do. They showcased this trio. Could we potentially see them as a trios when the new trio belts come out? Who knows?
Thank you.
I'm like, sometimes you just have to go on the ride.
You don't need to piss in your own cornflakes, people.
Stop pissing in
your own cornflakes and just enjoy it with a nice carton, I guess a carton for most of you Americans, of milk.
Yes.
I say bad,
but, like, at the end of the match, CM Punk cuts his promo and, talks about Forbidden Door. And lo and behold, we get the debut of Tanahashi on AEW Dynamite.
See, I'm upset.
I'm going to let you take that.
Well, I'm going to say I'm upset because my stream was, the TSN feed was broken last night. So it conveniently cut out while CM Punk was doing his announcement and Tanahashi came out. So I had to go back and watch it today. Awesome. Goosebumps. Even rewatching it, goosebumps. So there's a lot of rumors that Tanahashi was going to face Moxley because Moxley really wants to face Tanahashi, which is interesting. I wonder why they didn't do that. I still think that this fell under the Kenny Omega's not healthy enough yet, so they had to switch some matches around. I'm still cool with Tanahashi versus Punk. There's a rumor that it's going to be for the AW belt at Forbidden Door. Now, it's also being stated that the IWGP Heavyweight Championship is slated to be defended from Kazuchika Okada. Apparently, Dave Meltzer has seen, it's written, that Okada is going to be taking on Hangman Adam Page for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah. So that's two really big matches regardless. And then he says, was it Meltzer? He expects, he doesn't know, that there'll probably be a bunch of other faction team matches. Like, it'll probably be like Undisputed Elite versus Bullet Club. We'll see. I'm curious to see, but I'm assuming we're going to start seeing more and more matches being announced over the next couple of weeks here.
Yeah. Because it's already the 2nd of June and the pay-per-view's on the 26th. So
yeah, and you mentioned the trios too. Like, I would love to see a CM Punk and FTR versus the Blackpool Combat Club. That would be a really cool match. Death Triangle would be a really cool, interesting match. Even the House of Black would be a really cool feud.
I'm just trying to see House of Black versus Blackpool Combat Club. Like, please just inject into my veins.
If you want those belts in FTR, give us Christian and Jurassic Express against FTR and CM Punk. And then, I don't know.
I mean, you know I want those AEW tag team belts on FTR, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah. So we also had Johnny Elite taking on so it's basically an open challenge. Miro comes back, cuts a really sick promo. It's saying that he's healed and he's ready to destroy everyone on Earth and in heaven. So I'm like, okay.
He basically said he wanted to take God's place.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's throwing down the ultimate challenge for some people.
So I saw people like posting Miro versus like God, but like the God from when Vince McMahon was facing God back in the WWE days.
Or if you ask Ant, it'll be, Miro versus Morgan Freeman.
But Miro's back and he beats up Johnny Elite, which Johnny Elite is not all elite. He's here on appearance basis only. But okay. I'm glad to see Miro back. Was hungry to see him back. Can't wait to see what they do with him going forward.
And he looks phenomenal. Like, he looks like he hasn't missed a step. He's still built like a tank.
Yeah.
And I just love to see it. I'm happy he's back.
So we got a really cool moment where, like, we had the JAS, and then Kingston comes out, and then Ortiz comes out, and they want a blood and guts match. But he gets Regal to come out and say blood and guts. Like, it doesn't have the same flow, but it was still pretty cool for Regal to be the one to say that.
It's no War Games, but
yeah. Oh man, so we're getting blood and guts. So that's officially happening. I believe it's the last Dynamite in June at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, where the Detroit Red Wings play. It's actually a big arena, so it's gonna be a big show. So that's officially blood and guts, that Dynamite. So I'm interested to see what they do with that one. I think Moxley said he agreed. Isn't Moxley joining him? So it's weird. Like, at the end of Dynamite, like, Moxley's like, yeah, I'm up for it. But I'm like, okay, so are they like, does everyone have to approve to go into this match? Or are we just getting a same team versus same team?
Figured it was just the same, Blackpool Combat Club.
That's what I thought.
Minus Wheeler Yuta, and Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz, which, by the way, we also got the proposition of a hair versus hair match with Ortiz and Jericho.
Who's going bald?
Jericho's going bald.
You think so? I saw someone Photoshop, and I'm like, oh my god.
No, yeah. I'm like,
I mean, it makes sense.
For my sanity, let Jericho go
bald. Jericho going bald makes more sense than Ortiz, in a way. So Jericho's already balding. My man did not look good at the pay-per-view. He is losing a lot of hair. Kyle. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if that's what he's just deciding to do. But he's also a rock star, and that's an image that they have. But Ortiz could lose hair because he's young enough that his hair can grow right back. So,
yeah, I mean, I would hope that that's not the only determining factor.
Yeah.
JAS just went over. I don't know. It's a toss up. It's a very strange stipulation to just kind of come out of nowhere. But are they gonna really have Ortiz go over Jericho?
Jericho might
With
be
the
bald.
way
He might
that
just wear
they've-
a hat for a long time.
I don't know, with the way they've been booking them and stuff like that, I could easily see them freaking putting Jericho over. And then hopefully, you know, JAS takes the L at Blood and Guts.
I think they will. I think they're going to lose at Blood and Guts. So we also had Matt Hardy, Darby Allin, Jurassic Express, and Christian Cage take on the Young Bucks, Red Dragon, and Hikuleo. Jeff Hardy was pulled, and Adam Cole was pulled. Adam Cole is a little bit banged up, but not as banged up, I guess, as Jeff Hardy. And even Jeff Hardy coming out, he was like limping. My man is hurt. I guess he's been hurt ever since the Darby match, the ladder match. So hopefully he recovers. But Hikuleo, man, that was awesome to see them there. But Adam Cole was on commentary. It was an interesting match. You know, I don't know. The story, I guess, was after. Like, I guess Matt Hardy was like sad that they lost, and Christian was like pulling at like, screw that guy. Like, he's like pulling him out of the ring. I think they're starting to plant the seed for the disconnect, I'm assuming.
Surprised Jungle Boy took the pin in that match.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting twist. Overall, it was everything that you could have expected it to be with those guys in it. It was like a ton of high spots. Like every time you blinked, somebody was doing a moonsault off the apron,
Right.
who's flipping out of the freaking ring, who's doing like whatever. So it was just like pure chaos. Personally, I'll say it, I hate 10-man tags. Anything over a trios is pushing it for me. I was almost happy when they removed Adam Cole and Jeff Hardy, thinking that they would just reduce it to an 8-man tag.
Oh, they
and
should
then
just
they
kept
went
it
back
there.
to the 10-man tag. I'm like, oh, what the hell?
Oh, they should just kept it 8, man.
It's hard to keep up with that stuff, and it's hard for it not to become, and I hate to use this term, but like a spot fest where it's just like everybody's trying to get their shit in.
No, I know you're saying.
But at the end of the day, like I was really surprised that Jungle Boy took the L on that.
And then,
please get them out of these damn feuds. Just put them in a real tag team feud.
Well, speaking of real feud, like Wardlow, I mean, he came out and squashed JD Drake, and I'm like, okay, like, this is where I go back to the deflating balloon thing. Like, what's going on now? He doesn't need to be going out and squashing people anymore. He needs a real feud. We need to see this man in a real feud for something. Like, what are they doing with him? Don't come out and just squash people. We're done with that. You don't need to do that anymore.
Then what was like Smart Mark Sterling came out at the end and served him with papers
Oh, no.
for all of the security guards that he ever assaulted in the process of like trying to get to MJF. The funny thing was my brother Nate texted me and he was like, the hilarious part is that he hands him this like letter-sized envelope. Like it doesn't look legal or official. What did he say? It looked like a bake sale flyer. Notice that he just handed off to him. It's like realism go out the window. But I totally agree. I'm like Wardlow, I think at this point, if this is the last squash match that he has for a while, it'll be a good thing to like get him into a good solid feud. Now that he's contracted by AEW.
That's just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like, this man is now like you're gonna lose the momentum that he just got all that momentum from that MJF feud. He's gonna lose it.
Adam says, "Can I say something that will make Kyle very sad?"
He's gonna say that she's gonna Sean Spears. That's probably what he's gonna say. But like, he needs something. He needs something, or else you're gonna lose all the momentum that he just got. And shouts to Mama POV in the chat. But I hope they do something with him. We'll see what happens next week with him. Main event, we had Jon Moxley against Daniel Garcia. I really enjoyed the main event. Really good match. Moxley was bleeding like a faucet, though. I guess he reopened the cut that he had on the weekend. There's that spot, that landing on the step spot.
Oh,
that
my God.
made me cringe.
Daniel Garcia ate that bump on those steel steps. That looked bad. I always say I'm the grandma that watches the show, and I'm like, oh, my God, somebody's going to get hurt. Like, oh my God,
Sonny,
don't climb that.
Make sure you wear your jacket out there in the ring.
How do I'll have to show you this like after the thing. How do we always come back to the grandma voice when it's just you and I?
I don't know.
But yeah, I think it's because I'm always talking about like me being nervous, and I felt like I'm like, oh my God, I hope he moves.
Here's a dime for a lunch after you're done wrestling, dear. Don't go buying all chocolate bars now.
Here's some butterscotch out of my
Grandma,
purse.
chocolate bars don't cost 10 cents anymore. God.
Wow.
Anyways,
We went off the rails.
yeah.
But yeah, that bump was off the rails.
Yeah. And
They got to stop going through the tables that don't break. That's another thing.
that's like a Japan thing. Japan's
Um,
tables are really weirdly built.
I love that Doc Samson is always just sitting there like, can you please not freaking throw somebody
Don't make
through my
me
damn
work.
table? Don't do this to me. I'm trying to have an easy night.
Yeah. Anyways, decent episode of Dynamite. Rampage this week looks really cool. Actually, Rampage also back to its regular time this week. We're not having a special timed Rampage back at 10 p.m. Eastern. But yeah,
Isn't it live this week?
it is live this week. Live at 10 p.m. Eastern time, which is going to be where it is 7 p.m.
Oh, that's right. 7. It'll be 3 hours earlier.
So it's going to be from the Toyota Center, I think it's called. Anyways, it's in California. They big match for the Young Bucks reunion or hometown, whatever. They're facing the Lucha Brothers, and that's going to be a sick tag team match. Cannot wait to see those two go at it. Kiera Hogan's taking on Athena one-on-one, and Scorpio Sky is defending the TNT belt against Dante Martin. 3 fire matches for Rampage. We talk about all the time in the show, like they need to build Rampage up to make us tune in that late, especially in the East Coast. And they have to build up a big card for us to watch. I'm 100% making time to watch this tomorrow live because of these 3 matches. These are 3 stacked matches for Rampage.
And it always feels better when it's live. There's something about
Sorry,
the
it's amazing.
atmosphere. Like, yeah. For
UK,
tell our
3
friends
a.m.
in the UK,
Rampage.
they always get screwed.
Just stay off Twitter and watch it in the morning, man. That's all you got to do. Just watch the replay in the morning. Just stay off Twitter.
But yeah, no, honestly, the live atmosphere does lend something to it, and I'm looking forward to it. And Bucks versus Lucha Brothers, they can never have a bad match against each other.
Right?
I just hope that crowd pops for the Young Bucks, because this will be the first time that they're wrestling in front of their hometown crowd for AEW, that is.
So yeah, can't wait to see what the next couple of weeks bring. We're on the road, I guess, now to Forbidden Door. Can't wait to be there live. So that's going to be fun. If anyone's listening, going to be there live, hit me up on Twitter. We'll meet up. We'll have a drink. I'm already meeting like 3 people already that I know they're going to be there in the concessions. I'm going to be plastered by the end of the night because I'm going and having a drink with each one of them.
Go bother Kyle for me, please.
So it's going to be great. Can't wait to see everybody there that's going to be there. Let's meet up and chat. But thanks you guys for watching today. So we're going to do some house cleaning stuff. But first, there's one important thing I want to announce right at the end of the show here. We tweeted the preview a couple of days ago. I don't know if it was yesterday. It's probably yesterday. But it is now
Everything's a blur.
It is now live on ElitePOVmerch.com. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go out there and get yourself the 6-star Jacky R merchandise. It is now available at ElitePOVmerch.com. It is available in regular shirts that come in black and red, just like the FTR shirts. It is available in, just for Jacky, make sure there was the women's V-necks and flowy tank tops that are available.
Yes,
with the shirt.
I love those flowy
available
tank
in
tops.
red in those as well. It's available in phone cases in black and red. It's available in coffee mugs in black and red. It's all available for you guys. 6-star Jacky R merchandise up on the shop. Available right now. ElitePOVmerch.com. You can get your 6-star Jacky R merchandise. So thank you to the graphic designer that made that logo, by the way. Shout outs to them.
Faded Plague Art, yes, on Twitter. Thank you for that. Thank you for I think he essentially created that nickname for me, and then it just stuck with everybody. So hey, go buy some merch. And I just want to say, as a side note, I would like to personally pledge a portion of whatever we sell to fundraising continuing through Pride Month to Nate's surgery. So please go buy the shirts if you've been asking for them, because I have had people that have been asking for them. Go and buy them, and also support a good cause in the process.
Yeah, and guys, again, it's ElitePOVmerch.com. A lot of cool other merchandise on there if you guys want to check it out as well. We got the Pop the Boys merchandise. I'm an Elite POV girl or guy, and if you guys want your own shirt with those, let us know. Baby Faces Have No Friends, Elite Bot, Internet Wrestling Crouton, let's effing go. Get yourself your own version of that shirt, the Elite POV version, and then obviously the Saturday morning show that's don't know when it's coming back, but you don't need a coffee cup to have a coffee. You can also support the show by Patreon, patreon.com/ElitePOV. A lot of tiers on there for you guys to go on and support the show. A lot of cool stuff on there. Me and Phil are going to be recording a lot of Nerdy Elite soon. Once I get through Stranger Things, we're going to be recording a few episodes of Nerdy Elite. We're going to do it on the Obi-Wan show. We're going to do it on Stranger Things. And then myself and Kimmy, I believe, are going to be recording tomorrow, K2 Observer. So let's go. Wrong one. We're going to, nope, there I am. The K2 Observer. So we're getting another episode. Going to talk some insider things with Insider Kimmy. So a lot more stuff coming, you guys.
And hopefully another vlog coming from me soon.
Yeah.
I will be heading on over to Webster, Massachusetts next Friday to see FTR be managed by Bret Hart at Big Time Wrestling. And that's going to be an interesting trip. So Nate and Frankie Bebop will be there with me. And, so that will be a really fun travel vlog to do. And hopefully that's something that we can get on for more Patreon content as well.
Isaac, AWF merch. So the eFed I run, DM Ant. I believe he runs the site. So if you have any questions, DM him. Anyways, guys, speaking of AWF, it's an eFederation myself and Ant run. It's really cool, really fun time. And it's twitter.com/AWF_eFed. It's also on Twitch, twitch.tv/Alliance Wrestling Fed. It's the funnest thing ever. A lot of people in this community have characters in that. If you guys want to come check it out and watch, we have a pay-per-view this Sunday. Well, it's a free per-view because you watch for free on Twitch. But it's happening this Sunday starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It's called Royal Flush. Basically our Money in the Bank pay-per-view. A lot of cool matches. Jax has a match. It's right there.
I'm going to kick Kimmy's ass.
She's facing Kimmy.
I'm just going to say that right now.
So come watch. It's fun. Kidding. You guys, it's honestly the best. Everyone cuts promos and stuff. It's really cool. We have we're making our own Road 2 video. It's going to be released tomorrow. That has a lot of cool hype videos for it. Me and Anna putting a lot of work into this. So hope you guys can come by and watch and support. And to all those who have, thank you so much for all that. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up today, guys. Make sure you're following the podcast on social media. That's Twitter and Instagram at Elite POV. Follow it on TikTok at Elite POV Clips. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel on YouTube, liking the videos, and you can follow ourselves on Twitter. You can follow myself at All Elite Kyle. My co-host here, she's available to follow at LoveYouMake24. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was 28. I don't know why, but LoveYouMake24. She does have an Instagram.
Yes, Jax the Draw, POV.
Rodriguez.
Yes, and I just want to say, if you see our posts on the Elite POV socials, give them a retweet, give them a like. It's a free way to help boost us and get our name out there.
You guys don't want to pay for the supporters? The retweet, I count the retweet as a paid subscription to Patreon. I see them both the same.
It has the same level of value of boosting us and giving us the exposure. Obviously, we appreciate all of you that are here every week. Those of you that interact with us, the community and the audience is what makes the show what it is. So from me to you, thank you very much for that.
Yeah. So thank you guys all for tuning in today. For myself and Jacky R over here, 6-star Jacky R.
6-star.
Thank you guys all for tuning in to another episode of Elite POV. And remember, you don't need it. Oh, God, I don't even know how to do this outro because Phil does it all the time.
I got it.
Okay, you can do it for us. So, all right, Jacky, take it away.
And remember, you don't need a hat to be a cowboy. We'll see you next week, guys.